Welcome back. We're here now with the new girls coach here at Halls High School, a good friend of mine. We used to coach together at the middle school a little bit, and then we actually coached against each other on the middle school level. Many of you know him already. He's the voice of the Central Bobcat football team, and he has assured people that he is still going to do Central football before basketball season starts and can still get his girls ready for basketball season. But it's a pleasure to interview Tom. Like I said, he's a good friend of mine. I'm so happy for him for getting this job here at the high school. I know that he's going to be a good coach. There's nobody in the business that will outwork him. So I'd like to get just a few words with him and welcome him here to Halls High School. And Tom, congratulations. It's good. It's good to have you here. Talk a little bit about maybe some of your philosophies. I know Jonathan said something about you have to meet your personnel, but I know you as a coach, and there's some basic philosophies that you have. Not necessarily offensive, defensive, but coaching philosophies, just some general coaching philosophies that you might have, and throw in some offensive and defensive ideas too.
Well, in terms of just coaching philosophy, I think it's our job to develop the student athlete, not just the athlete, but you got to develop the student as well. So I give out weekly progress reports for the kids. You remember those well. So every Friday they got to bring the progress reports with all their grades, comments on behavior, either good or bad. And Friday after practice they have to run for. Most of the time, I have my parents set the grade expectations, and so they have to run for every point below the grade in every class that they're supposed to make, okay. And then they got to run additional for some behavior type comments on there. So it's either get healthy or get smart. I mean, that's basically that. And a lot of kids over the years have gotten healthy, and it took them a while to get smart. But it takes sometimes 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but they all kind of get it and say, okay, got to get with the program if I'm going to get out there on the court. So for me, that's a huge part of what I think I'm supposed to be doing is shaping these young ladies as just good citizens in the community, and that's a good start right there. In turn, defensively, you just got to get after it, and like you said, the defenses you play can change from year to year. I started out the meeting earlier tonight saying if I had my druthers, I'd be pressing from the time they get off the bus till the time we board the bus. And, I mean, we'd be trapping the whole time. You don't always have that personnel. So it might be a full-court pressing style. It could be a half-court trapping style. It might be a methodical, efficient half-court offense, and then you just get back there and play some good defense. Could be man-to-man one year. I mean, I remember the first time we coached together, I think I went man-to-man 99% of the time.
All year long.
All year long. And then the next year I just had a group that could do so many things, and so we mixed it up so many times. So we could be in man, we'd then drop into 1-2-2, then we'd full court press, and we did so many different things. I think it depends on your personnel. So I like to keep it offensively. Again, if you got some kids that can run, you're going to try to score in transition. You're going to try to get that quick bucket. But if you got some kids that are just smarter players, not quite as athletic, and can run some good offense and just be patient enough. And a lot of times with the youth of some of these kids, they can't. That's the problem. They can't be patient enough. And so you go that route. So right now I couldn't tell you, there's a few things in mind, but I'm not 100% sure until I see all the kids exactly what we're going to be doing. But, we've got some time to implement all that. So.
Well, with that being said, I know that a lot of the kids that are in the program because they played for you there at the middle school. You know what they bring to the table leadership-wise. You know what they bring to the table. Like you said, can they run a sophisticated offense? Can you take that offense a step further? In knowing you, I think you'll probably try to implement as many things and keep changing things up as you go along and adding new things. What seems to be, or what do you anticipate being maybe one of the major hurdles, one of the hardest thing that you're going to have to do with this bunch? I know numbers is an issue sometimes, but as far as looking ahead to the season and on down the road to seasons in the future, what are some things you think you're going to have to do to try to get the numbers and the personnel back on track with where you want it to be here at Halls?
I think the biggest problem right now is going to be the timing of the hiring here so late in the summer. every other team in Knoxville, just about, and everywhere in the state of Tennessee, they've been going all summer. So they've been just honing their craft. They've been working on whatever new things they're putting in, or maybe they're just doing what they've always done, but they're just getting better and better. We got to start from scratch. So it's a completely different system. So I think and we only have this week, the few days of practice we'll have, and then next week if we can get some gym time, and then we're done until November in terms of just practice. So I think the mental side of the game is going to be the biggest hurdle. Got 5 freshmen coming in. I've got, I think, 3 seniors. 2 of them played for me. No junior. Well, I may have 1 junior. I'm still learning some names, and 1 sophomore. So the bulk is the freshman class coming in. Right. So kind of that advantage that I could have had in terms of these players have played for me before, so they know a lot. Well, that's kind of gone because these players did not play for me. So I think that's the biggest hurdle. And then the numbers. Right now we have 11 girls that have expressed interest in playing. May add a few more, maybe throughout open gyms, camp practice, as I alluded to earlier. But it'll be the numbers is the biggest issue. Going forward, I would say just keeping the kids home. I mean, it's over the past, 8-9 years that I've been here, it's just you've got your feeder school next door, but those players haven't always come over here. They've just, for probably a lot of different reasons, have gone to private schools or other public schools. So just uniting as one community and keeping the junior pro kids excited to go to the middle school, and then there's middle school kids excited to go to the high school, and just vertically building this thing. I think that's going to be the biggest hurdle, and I think we'll be able to do it. But I think long term, that's the biggest goal.
Well, I know they're going to enjoy playing for you, and I know nobody will work harder than you as far as getting the middle school team on board. Sounds like you've got your work cut out for you in the preseason, even if it's not in a gym, maybe just sitting down doing some chalk talk and running some things, or walking around even the cafeteria here, walking around and running some patterns. Like I said, I don't think anybody will outwork you. I don't think anybody will be more prepared than your team, but you're behind the 8 ball. They've been to basketball camps. You've got a big bunch of freshmen coming in. The good thing about them is they're athletic. You know that. You've seen them play a little bit. Do you think you're going to have to count on those freshmen quite a bit for some playing time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know in terms of starting or, some minutes off the bench, but some of them have to. I mean, there's a few kids coming back that are probably etched in stone starters. Panda Riggs is one. I mean, she can flat out light it up. Yes. A lot of people will look at basketball players and say, well, he or she is a scorer, or he or she is a great shooter. I think she's both. She's a scorer and a great shooter. So she'll be a big part of what we do. A lot of things that will run through her. Griffin Parker coming back. She can play anything. She can play with a lot of the things I want to do. She could probably go 1, 2, 3, or 4, and she'll do it with a smile on her face. Kaylin Weaver, she's a sophomore. I mean, heck of a worker. You know her, very athletic. Another young lady that'll do anything you need, and that's probably going to be one of our first conversations. Hey, I'm going to need you to do several different things, so when this girl comes out, you can slide over and play that. Freshmen, yeah, we need, and we have another senior coming. I'm not familiar with her, Emma Cummings, but I've heard nothing but great things about that young lady. A couple other players in the program. So it doesn't have to be the freshmen, but we have to get some other young ladies to step up and be able to give us some minutes in each quarter or in each half. And I'll be scouting the hallways too, looking for a few others that maybe have, for some reason or another. There's a golfer that I need to talk to, as a matter of fact, that you're familiar with. Yes. So I gotta get in touch with her, and just you got to pull all those resources together in order to build those numbers. I'm going to make sure I do it.
Well, she's already got her scholarship to Tennessee, so maybe she'll be interested in playing a little bit of basketball. And she's a great kid. She's a good athlete, so she could help you. You're gonna have some depth issues, but it sounds like with 11 kids, you'll have some people that can fill in. I know as well as I do. The kids coming over from the middle school will be able to give you some time. Looking forward to it, Tom. Looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward to calling the games. I am excited about being on board with Diamond Clear for my second year, but I'm even more excited about being here at Halls High School. And now I got my buddy, so I can call his games too during basketball season. And that's one of the pluses. When he first found out he got the job, the first thing I said to him was, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be here calling your games, and I said I'm really going to look forward to that. So we'll have a close working relationship.
Don't be surprised now if I call a timeout, or even maybe during flow of the action. If I look up there, and kind of give you a look, and you can signal down with some numbers.
We'll get some hand signals. We'll get some hand signals going back and forth. But looking forward to the season here at Halls High School. Football season's only a few weeks away, and then we'll be excited to be here with the two new coaches who I think are going to be more than welcomed here at Halls High School. Expectations are high, as always, and I think they made two great hires here at Halls High School with Jonathan and Tom, and looking forward to the basketball season with you. Thank you, buddy.